Ya akhi, you have mines. You have mines on your road people put for you. You all know my opinion and controversy that scholars from XYZ they are taking, and Sheikh Asim. Akhi, I said this in a 15-minute long video on YouTube. I believe that eating the animals that were slaughtered by the people of the book is halal. And I stated in my video that in order for me to eat a meat, a sheep for example, it has to be one, slaughtered by a Muslim or a Jew or a Christian. Two, it has to be mentioned the name of Allah. Three, the slaughtering has to be through the Islamic way, which is cutting the arteries and the veins and shedding or making the blood gush out. So now, in chapter 5, verse 5, Surah Al-Ma'idah, وَطَعَامُ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ حِلٌّ لَكُمْ. Ibn Abbas says, and the consensus of all scholars of tafsir, the slaughtering of the animals that were done by the people of the scriptures is halal for you. Okay, Sheikh, how do we know that it was slaughtered in America? Because we have reports that they stun, that they kill with a needle or with a nail or with a gun. And some of the brothers, mashallah, posted a video saying that this is taken from a facility that supplies meat to McDonald's in America. And I look at the video, it's somewhere in Africa. And it's so primitive and the recording is bad. And you can see that the workers are not up to the standards of McDonald's in America. So who should I trust? A random video? Now I said, the Prophet ﷺ was invited to a ram cooked by a Jewish woman. Was the intention of this Jewish woman good when she invited the Prophet ﷺ, or evil? It was evil because she placed a lot of poison in it. Why? She wanted to get rid of the Prophet ﷺ. But if he's a prophet, Allah will tell him. So he came, accepted the invitation, brought his friends. He did not ask the woman who is Jewish whether this is halal or haram. Meaning, was it slaughtered or you found it falling from a mountain? Some would say, yeah, because the default is they only eat kosher. They only eat halal meat. They only slaughter. That's good. That's the default. Now, why wouldn't the Prophet suspect when we know that she had ill intent? The least would have been that he would ask. We know that their monetary income is from what? The Jews. From riba, from embezzlement, from eating haram. The Prophet did not ask. So like the Clinton era, don't ask, don't tell. Over a different thing. So the Prophet went and ate, alayhi salam. So now I'm in America. And someone invites me to KFC. I hate KFC. I don't think it's meat. Seriously, it's not like al-baik. If you know. Okay, I'm not endorsing al-baik. Can you edit this, please? But KFC is tasteless. I don't find anything. But someone invites me. I go. Do they cook pork? No. I say Bismillah and eat. Say, Sheikh, this is not slaughtered halal. I said, good. Jazakallah khair. How do you know? Oh, they don't slaughter. I said, how do you know? We know, Sheikh. We live in America. So I live in Saudi. Does this mean that I know all the slaughterhouses? You have to be realistic. So no, we heard reports. I heard reports that Colgate and Close-Up toothpaste contain pork. And soap contain pork. So are you going to refrain? There are hundreds of reports. Yes, but Sheikh, we saw a video where the cow is being thrown into a machine and it is with flamethrowers. Come on. What is this? Bring me evidence that can counter this. The companions came to the Prophet ﷺ and said, O Prophet of Allah, people bring us meat and we don't know whether it was يعني halal or haram. Actually, they said, we don't know if they mentioned the name of Allah or not. The Prophet said, you mention the name of Allah and eat. Wouldn't it have been easy for the Prophet to say, ask them? When someone brings you meat, ask them, did you slaughter it? Did you say Bismillah? No, the Prophet said no. Don't do that. Don't ask. Because the default it is what? People of the book, it is halal. Now they came up with another strategy. Okay, Sheikh, how do you know they are people of the book? America is not a Christian country. There are so many atheists. There are so many atheists. Agnostic, yalla, معلش. Agnostic. So in UK, 46% are not Christians. So how can you label it as a Christian country? Everybody knows that the people of America and the people of Europe are Christians. There are agnostics. But where will you find a country labeled Christian country? You will not find that. And the same ideology and analogy would be applied in, let's say, Turkey. How many Muslims are in Turkey? And how many agnostic and atheists? So if I go to Turkey, I cannot eat in the restaurants because I don't know? Oh, Sheikh, no one among the Christians say Bismillah. Is it true? But the ayah says, do not eat from what other than Allah's name was mentioned. And this is one of the interpretations of the ulama of tafsir. Because the meat we eat in Kuwait, you insist that I will not eat this until I hear the butcher say, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, or you will eat it. Who among us say, I will not eat meat until I hear it with my ears? Nobody. So if I go to Pakistan, would I refrain? Because some of them might be from different cults or grave worshippers or this or that, so I'm not going to eat any. Come on, the religion is easy, it's simple. If you don't want to eat in America or Europe, good for you. Be my guest, be vegetarian, eat seafood. But when I eat a big T-bone steak, medium well, with a mushroom sauce, you don't come and say, oh, Sheikh, shame on you. I am following the Quran and the Sunnah. And by the way, this is the fatwa of Ibn Baz and Ibn Uthaymin. And some of the brothers, Jazakumullah khair, they brought the fatwa to counter my argument. And said, listen to the fatwa of Ibn Baz and Ibn Uthaymin. You listen to it, and the fatwa is exactly what I said. But then they say, but if you are, quote unquote, certain that it was not slaughtered. See, the Sheikh says, if you are certain. I said, okay, are you certain? This meat provided for you by this restaurant, are you certain and able to stand on the day of judgment and say, Wallahi, this T-bone steak was not slaughtered? I said, no, but Sheikh, we've seen. The fatwa is clear. If you're certain, refrain. If you're not certain, what do we do? The Quran and the Sunnah says, say Bismillah and eat. If you don't want to eat, don't eat. Just leave me alone. Please. And Allah knows best.